want to throw?
We are gathered in Salida to search this rugged land, bring her home before the snow flies, return her if we can. We traveled in from miles around like a justice caravan. We are gathered in Salida trying to find Suzanne. Hey Barry, won't you tell us, was this your master plan? Do you know just where we'll find her? Did her life slip through your hands? It's way past time you own this. Step up and be a man. Truth won't be denied. We are gathered in Salida to search this rugged land, bring her home before the snow flies, return her if we can.
Hey everybody, what's up? Tyson, you're back.
Hi everyone. So
Good to see you, man.
Thank you guys so much. It's good to see you, Dusty and Chappy. Thank you guys so much for holding down the fort, and not just holding down the fort, but I was telling Dusty this morning, man, this just really gave Dusty an opportunity to spread his wings and fly. And man, did he just knock it out of the park with some of those videos, Chappy. What do you think?
Yeah, home run.
Yeah,
home run. I mean, grand slam. Actually, you won the game, brother.
Yeah, and thank you to you, Chappy, for everything that you've done behind the scenes. I want to take just about a minute or two. I don't want to spend a long time on this, but I want to thank everybody for the love, the emails, the text messages, I mean, I don't even know. There's so many different ways that people reached out to me, in love and concern. And for those of you that don't know, I was diagnosed with COVID-19. I started feeling sick a couple of weeks ago, and I went in and got a test, and it was negative. And so I thought I had dodged a bullet. And then a few days later, I was still sick. And so I went back in, and she said, yeah, you got COVID-19. So let me tell you a little bit about the experience, Dusty and Chappy, if you guys don't mind.
Go ahead, man.
It was just one of those experiences where it was, well, first of all, it was awful, obviously, but it was new. It was kind of like the flu. I thought, well, this is a lot like the flu, but it was so different in so many ways. And one of the scariest part about it was the episodes where I wouldn't be able to catch my breath. It was weird because I've always been such a healthy guy. I've always been physically active. I'm not overweight. I don't smoke. Any of that kind of stuff. And I've never had an issue with breathing, but it was very scary, when those episodes would attack you like that, where you couldn't catch your breath. And so that was probably the scariest part, but it was just an awful experience. And my heart goes out to all the people who are suffering with it. If you have family members friends. It's just an awful thing. And I want to, say that I understand, I understand now, and it's awful. So hang in there, and hopefully, they're going to be as lucky as I am and pull out of it. So I'm super happy to be here tonight. I'm feeling a lot better, and I just hope it continues. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody.
Tyson, it makes my heart happy to see you, brother. I was worried about you there for a bit. And you know what? So not only was it on this channel, but all the love spilled over on my channel also. People were making comments hoping that you are feeling all right and that you'll be back on your channel soon enough. So yeah, you're loved, dude. Don't ever scare us like that again.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Emails and text messages.
Yep.
I got emails and text messages and Facebook messages and everything you could think of asking me about you, Ty. So I'm glad that you're back, man. And I was worried about you too. Somebody on here said you need to eat.
I saw that.
I've never seen you this thin before, man, to be honest with you.
Well, that's the other thing too, is, I used to be about 205 pounds. A lot of it was muscle. I worked about 12 years to, but are you guys getting a echo?
Nope.
Okay. For some reason I'm getting a lot of feedback, but anyways, I've lost a lot of weight, and there's different reasons for that. I don't think COVID really had anything to do with that. It's it does in a roundabout way, but anyway, guys, I don't want to make this all about me, but I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for your love and your concern and your support. And it's good to be back. It's so good to be back with all you guys. So thank you for spending your Friday night with us.
Awesome. I want to thank, we've already got people donating to us, and I really appreciate it. So I want to mention them. Let me pop their donations up here on the thing. So Sarah Hudak, I think that's how you say your name. Thank you so much, Sarah, for your donation. We really appreciate it. It helps us to get out and investigate these cases and travel and stuff. Sonny Austin, thank you so much. The Three Amigos. How'd they do that thing? Woo! Something like that. That's funny. Yeah. I love that movie. It's funny. Anyway, and Lisa Marie, hi Dusty, hi Tyson, hi Dusty and Chappy. God is so good. So happy you're feeling better, Tyson. I love this channel. You're all amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for your donation too.
Thank you, Lisa Marie. Appreciate that.
All right, brother. You guys want to jump into some of this content that we got?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and jump into that. Chappy, do you want to go ahead and go moderate, and then we'll pull you back here in a little bit?
See you guys.
All right.
Good
Thank you,
man.
Excuse me.
All right, brother. Hey, man, it's good to see you. Dusty, how you been doing, man?
I was sick too for a while, but I didn't have COVID because I had 2 tests, and then I also had one of those antibody tests, and I haven't had COVID. I was feeling weak since I went to Colorado, and they're still trying to figure out what's going on with me. I've had CT scans and chest x-rays, and they're wanting to do some pulmonary test on me now. So, but I feel a lot better. I was sick really bad for about 2 weeks, but the way I get through stuff is I just keep busy. So that's what I did. And I finally rested a little bit, and then I feel a lot better now. So I don't feel sick. Man. So, but I've been good. Other than that, I've been diving into all this stuff. It's been really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got some new information today that we're going to share with you all. And as you can tell by the thumbnail we put up, it's going to be titled May 10th, 2020, Mothers, Weddings, and Lies. And we're going to start, we said Mothers because it's Mother's Day. It was Mother's Day on May 10th, and Suzanne went missing. And you all know that she went missing on Mother's Day. But what you might not know was, well, let's think back to that. There was an episode of Profiling Evil where they were talking about the timeline of Suzanne and what happened the day before she disappeared. One of the things they said was she was talking to a friend of hers on the phone, text messaging back and forth about an upcoming wedding. And all of a sudden, all of Suzanne's conversation just totally got cut off. She never responded back. Well, what we found out recently was the wedding was on Mother's Day. The wedding that they were talking about was on Mother's Day. It was going to be it was a virtual wedding is what it was. And it was obviously it was somebody close to Suzanne that was talking about it, and she really wanted to attend this. So we're not going to tell you who was married because we've spoken to certain people and we agreed not to do that. And while we agreed not to do that at this time, we were given the green light to talk about some of this stuff. So that's what we're doing. The facts are that there was a virtual wedding. We have seen videos of it. We have seen invitations. We have seen different things. We're not going to show any of that for obvious reasons because we don't want to put names out there. And for also the reason that there is some really, can you imagine that if someone you love went missing on the day that someone else that you love was married? I mean, that's horrible. So it's somebody that was supposed to tune into that wedding wasn't ever able to do that. So this person that she was speaking to the day before was probably worried sick, wondering why she didn't log in to view this wedding. So anyway, Tyson, you want to go with that next section? But those are the facts, by the way. We know those are facts for sure. So,
well, you guys all know I've been out of the loop for a little bit. I've tried to stay in the loop, but Dusty, this is news to me that this wedding was on Mother's Day. Is this something that's been out there for a little while, or is this kind of some breaking news? Because that's a game changer. That's a big game changer.
Yeah.
When it comes to what Barry was doing on Mother's Day.
It hasn't been out there for a long time. I mean, we all know that there was a wedding for a long time. I don't think there's very few people that know that it was on Mother's Day. And I just found out like earlier today. So
well, and that's and I like the word you used. You said that these are facts. This
they
wedding,
are facts. I've seen this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. This wedding did happen on Mother's Day, and that's a game changer, ladies and gentlemen, because Barry well, let me look at the notes here what we got, but you have to assume, Dusty, that if Suzanne was going to a wedding, and even though it's a virtual wedding, that her husband is also invited and that her daughters are invited. The husband is definitely going to be invited. So why this job in Broomfield on Mother's Day? Where did this come from if there was a wedding happening on Mother's Day?
Well, all this stuff isn't adding up. This throws a wrench into what Barry told you that day. When you came across him and he was telling you the story about going to, he said Denver for Mother's Day or on Mother's Day to get that job ready. Well, we know from Lauren Scharf's video, her investigation, that it wasn't legal for him to be working on Sunday. So he couldn't have gone. I mean, plus he shows up and he didn't have the stuff he needed. So that was all bogus. That wasn't real. And first of all, he's not going to, this was a person that was close to Suzanne she really was going to go to this wedding, virtually. Mm-hmm. And she really, I mean, if it was someone that close to her, Barry's going to go. Just think if it was a real wedding, would she show up without Barry? I mean, obviously, no, she wouldn't. No. And that's not something that you just bail on, that's if one of, I can't say too much, but somebody that she cares about, and by him being married to her, so he's going to be going to that wedding, so he's not going to just take off to get a job ready or whatever. Even if he was, he could go to the wedding and then go up there. You know what I mean? He didn't have to leave at 5 a.m. There was no reason for it.
Yeah, there was no, we've already verified, through several different sources that this was not a job that was pressing. It was not urgent. And this is a bombshell as far as I'm concerned with this wedding being on Mother's Day.
Oh yeah.
Because
I mean, he acted like, so what happened was he acted like it was planned or something. Let me read from these notes. It says this is what I typed. I can believe that the daughters were allowed to go camping. That's not a far reach that they wanted to camp instead of going to this virtual wedding, I mean, it makes sense. The girls didn't have to go, to this virtual wedding, and they could, I mean, I don't know if they had service where they were as far as cell phone, but they could do it from wherever they were if they wanted to. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so it says here that leads us to believe this. So this is what he said to you, Tyson. So I told my wife, I said, listen, the girls are coming home to spend Mother's Day with you, and I have a job in Denver. So that's not what happened. You know what I mean? We already, so what I'm gathering is they already had plans for Mother's Day, him and Suzanne, right? To attend this wedding. I mean, why would you leave? First of all, why would you leave your wife on Mother's Day? His girls were gone, they weren't coming to see him or see her. They were camping and stuff. They came back later. They had plans to attend that wedding. And so why is he even saying that to you, Tyson? Why is he saying, like, because he couldn't have told her that he was going to Denver to prepare a job, because that just doesn't fit for everything that we're learning right now.
Exactly. Well, if you go back and watch the video, and we've said it, and probably 1,000 other people have said it, but when I asked him that question, it took him like 7 or 8 seconds to respond. He was loading up the information to try to keep his story straight. So since day one, it hasn't made any sense. But now with this new revelation that there was a wedding on Mother's Day, it's even more. I mean, it's just, there's no doubt that it was just a made up story.
So this is what we know. We know there was a wedding on Sunday. We know that Suzanne was planning on going to this wedding, right? So from what I'm gathering, she's telling Barry, hey, let's attend this wedding. We can, do it from home and, all this stuff. And what if he all of a sudden said, oh, I got to go prep this job up in Denver. What do you think? How do you think that's going to go over? I mean, not very good. I mean, it's Mother's Day. A good friend is associated with this wedding, and she really wants to attend, and all of a sudden he just wants to bounce. I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think that would have played out very good at all. Yeah, and
Dusty, that there was no discussion prior about this job because it wasn't pressing, it wasn't urgent. So there was no. She probably, if Barry was telling the truth, which he's not, she was probably like, "What job? I don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah. What job in Broomfield?"
Yeah. And plus, the other thing is, why? I'm trying to think of a good way to phrase this. The person that hired him even told Lauren Scharf that there was nothing that needed to be done up there that had to be done on Sunday. That there weren't any approvals for him to do. I mean, all that stuff is proven that didn't have to happen. And so let's just say that we already know that didn't have to happen. First of all, he didn't take the right tools up there for them to work. His room smelled like chlorine. I mean, it's all this stuff. And, it just doesn't make any sense what he did. I think he panicked and he tried to go up there and establish an alibi, and now it's coming back to bite him in the butt, and it's just not going to work out for him. I mean, none of this stuff's making sense. The more facts that come to light, and these are facts, we know this stuff. We don't know the conversation him and Suzanne had about this, or if they had plans, but let's just common sense tells you what's going on here. I mean, you're just not going to. First of all, you don't want to. He's already told us that he told his wife he wasn't going to spend Mother's Day with her. Now you're trying to tell me that he told her he wasn't going to spend Mother's Day with her, plus he wasn't going to go to a wedding that of someone she cared about. I mean, come on. You're not going to do 2 of those things on Mother's Day. I mean, come on, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't make sense to me, man. What do you think about all that?
Well, I agree. None of it makes any sense, and it hasn't since day one. And the other thing is, without opening a whole nother can of worms, but we've got to throw these other facts in there. Another one is, why were the security cameras off that day? Why were the security cameras just conveniently off? I know we beat that dead horse also, but I mean, all these things, man, there's just no way that this was planned out, and he was supposed to be there on Mother's Day, and he's going to go and he's going to leave his wife at 5 o'clock in the morning. There's just absolutely no way that he's telling the truth. He's just lying.
Let me throw another wrench into this whole thing. What did Barry write on that piece of paper that he turned into the market? Of a description.
He wrote like baby blue helmet and
biker clothes.
Biker clothes, yeah.
So it made it sound like she's going on a bike ride, right?
Yeah.
So what did they find? They found the bike. They found the helmet. And now all of a sudden they find this shirt that's got all this stuff, like it's all the stuff that he said on that list is conveniently found right around his house. All that stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, all that stuff within a mile of his house. I mean, it's like the dumbest person on earth went out and tried to set up an alibi, and he just threw stuff out of his pickup. You know what I mean? And walked the bike down there and made it look like it. I mean, he obviously knows where the bike was because he started telling you in your video, and then he caught himself and he was like, "Oh, like the tire was up." I mean, and then he just like started stumbling over. I mean, it's so blatantly obvious that this guy is hiding something. It's almost like to the point where I'm so tired of talking about him and all of the stuff he's done, because there's so much stuff, but I get it because it's all circumstantial and there's no proof of anything. So I get what they're doing. They can only try him once, and they have to have some kind of evidence against him. And it's really hard to convict somebody without a body. So,
yeah.
But I mean, that doesn't mean that it's not obvious to us what he's doing and what he did. So, I mean, it just gets frustrating when you see TV shows, and they wrap it up on CSI in about an hour. And this has been like 6 months, which we've been wondering what happened to Suzanne. So it's really sad.
Yeah, it sure is, man. And I'm trying to see on the notes here, bro. Where did you leave off so I can pick up there? But
right over here where it said what was supposed to happen was a day home virtually celebrating the unity of a husband and a wife.
Oh, okay. So we can all assume that there was not a Denver job. There definitely was not a bike ride on a wedding day, especially, if her good friend's daughter is getting married or son or whatever on that day, she's not going to be out riding her bike. She's going to be getting ready and things like that. So we can assume that neither one of those things happened, that there was never a Denver job. There was never a bike ride. Why is Barry not in any way addressing these things, Dusty?
Why isn't he addressing them? Because there's facts that tell us that, I mean, we could say right now she wasn't supposed to be home that day alone, right? She probably didn't even make it to Mother's Day. When that communication abruptly stopped,
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's obvious that she didn't call back later and text back later or whatever. And that was unusual for her to do that. So,
well, he knew the alarms would be going off when they were not going to show up online on Sunday. So he was trying to plan ahead. He wanted to make it seem like it was a last minute thing in Broomfield when it was not. Yeah. And in my opinion, somebody had mentioned this the other day to me, and it stuck with me, and it made a lot of sense. I believe that Barry poured chlorine on Jeff's towels to get law enforcement to believe his story, about her being abducted.
Yeah, by
And
meth heads and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And he made sure, Barry made sure to be far away when the alarm would sound, right? And
Yeah.
that's typical. We've seen that in other cases where they know when the alarm's going to sound, when the stuff's going to hit the fan, they want to be as far away as they possibly can. And Barry made sure. He made sure that he was way out there. Oh, well, I don't know what happened. I was in Denver, or I was in Broomfield at a job. What do you mean my wife's missing?
Yeah.
You know, we've
I mean,
seen
he
that
was trying to
before.
get away and he was panicking. And I think he underestimated the intelligence of some of his workers too. I think that he thought that he could get them framed and blame them for stuff. One thing we came across that was really interesting, Tyson, was this, when we talked about this in our meeting before this. Jeff Puckett's Durango got stolen. You can go to Cassidy Cordova's Facebook page, and Cassidy has a post, and then in that post, I should have got a screenshot of it. There's a comment from Jeff Puckett saying someone stole his Durango. And they ended up finding that Durango near a junkyard, a dump. And just before they found it, somebody was asking Morgan Gentile on Facebook, I don't know if it was a private message or in a comment or something, but we have a screenshot of it, asking them where the DSI, I don't know, do you know what DSI is? Something? I don't know what it is, but it's where they dump their scrap metal and different stuff. And she said it's down on the south side. That's right where they found Jeff Puckett's Durango. So, I mean, if you start speculating about why his Durango got stolen and why it was down there by this landfill, I mean, you can start saying, well, maybe he was getting set up for Suzanne disappearing, which makes total sense to me. You got all these meth heads working for you, you know, that he's saying, he's cutting ties with all those people and saying that, you know, I think he just panicked. He did all this crazy stuff. And all of a sudden he's trying to make up all these stories. And what I think happened with you, Tyson, was I think he saw you out. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. I think he saw you out there the day before when he drove by and you said he was all wet and panicking. And I think that he saw you and he said, he went home and he thought about it like, man, if I see that guy tomorrow, I'm going to go and talk to him and see what he's doing. And I'm going to run these stories by him, these theories, because he just was practicing theory after theory after theory on you just to see which one would stick. He was throwing stuff against the wall just to see what would stick. And all of those theories just are being picked apart, falling apart. None of them are sticking because none of it happened. I mean,
right.
It's obvious.
Well, and what was the very first thing he told me after I said, hey, you know, I'm Tyson Draper from Arizona. Do you remember the next
thing? He said, let me tell you what happened.
Yeah, he said, let me tell you what happened. And that right there was a red flag in and of itself. But before he said that, Dusty, he told me to turn the camera off.
Oh, yeah.
Now why would he do that? Because he didn't want... He was going to practice, just like you said. He was going to practice these things, and he didn't want those recorded. He didn't want, in case he slipped up, which he did. Right?
You screwed up his whole plan, man. You threw a wrench into it right early, and so ever since, have you noticed that anytime that somebody gets close to something or accuses him of something or whatever, all of a sudden he finds an outlet to try to control the narrative again. He tries to steer it back in his favor, and it always makes him sound even more guilty in my eyes that he's trying to control that narrative. You know, they come out with an interview. Lauren Sharf comes out with an interview. He runs to another station and shows all these cards that Suzanne wrote him and all this stuff. And it's like, you know, trying to control all the, I'm a good guy. Look, my wife said, you know, here's the card to prove it.
Yeah. So. And, you know, how many times have we heard him say, you know, I give these guys a job. I help them out. They're meth heads. You know, he's always trying to paint himself a picture of himself as being this great guy, you know, but hey, Dusty, can I just thank some of these people that donated real quick?
Absolutely.
I don't know if you can put up Yolanda RN. She donated $20. Thank you, Yolanda. CHPN. She's also a member of our channel. Thank you so much, Yolanda. And the next one is Dewey. And there you go. We all know he's guilty, but does he get away with it? So far, he has, in my opinion. So, Dewey, that's the question for the ages. We don't know if he's going to get away with it. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure he doesn't, because we're fully convinced that if he didn't do it himself, he knows what happened. So, he's not going to get away with it as far as we're concerned. And then the last one, Dusty, what is that one from? Aisha Lynn. Aisha? I'm not sure how to say that, but
Aisha.
She's also a member of our channel. Thank you, Aisha Lynn, for the $24.99 donation. I can't pull that one up. I don't know if you can.
I'm looking for it, but
it's up there at the top. But anyways, I just wanted to thank those guys for donating to our channel, for being members, and for being here tonight. But Dusty, it's the same old song and dance, man. It's the same story, different day. He always comes up with some sort of a narrative to look like a good guy. It's blatantly obvious that he knows what happened, and he's just continuing to just pretend like he doesn't. It's frustrating.
It is. And one thing that I've been, since I started talking about Trevor Noel and his wife Sarah's blog and stuff like that, I've been going through people close to them, like Barry's sister's Facebook pages, different people, like Trevor's mom and different people. I'm going to give Trevor's mom a lot of credit. I'm not going to say her name on here, but Trevor's mom did post a lot of stuff about Suzanne, and she's the one that probably lasted the longest to posting stuff. But having said that, nobody that I've came across has posted anything about Suzanne for longer than mid-June. And then everything just stopped. Nobody posted, no, she's missing anymore. And, I could have missed some stuff. I don't think so, because I was really, really diligent in doing this research. But it's just weird to me. Like, you care about this woman. You have a lot of them have pictures with her on these Facebook pages. And then it started out really good, where they're putting out all these missing flyers, all this stuff, and all of a sudden it just stops. I mean, I don't understand that. I wish somebody would explain to us why all of a sudden you just gave up. None of us are giving up. We're still out there looking. I mean, I was out there in Salida in October. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I didn't give up, and I never even knew Suzanne. So
yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it doesn't. And I can't even begin to tell you how much sleep I've lost, dude, over Suzanne Morphew missing. Honestly, just my brain won't turn off at night. I'm constantly thinking about the different scenarios and the information that's presented to us, and running it through my mind. How do these people go on this road trip, on these vacations, and just pretend like nothing's wrong and have a great time and post stuff on Facebook, etc., where they're just having the time of their lives, man? Now, maybe some people might say, well, that's their way of coping. That's how they get out and enjoy, and try to forget about it. But honestly, it's to the extreme. I mean, they just went to, like, radio silence, and to me, it's just weird.
Well, you can do both. You can move on with your life but still try to bring awareness. You know what I mean? You can post something. It takes 5 seconds to post something on Facebook, and it's just like the one that's the reason that I focused on Trevor so much was because he put that spotlight on himself. He came out right in front saying, I'm the spokesman for the family, and was all emotional. So, whatever. But then all of a sudden he just nothing. And there's nothing that explains that other than what happened, and you're scared, or you're trying to protect somebody, or you're not going to just stop when when you say you're that dedicated. So
absolutely not. And even if you're not that dedicated, I mean, like you said, every single one of us in here in this chat, and you and I, we're strangers to Suzanne. We've never met her. We'll probably never meet her, but we're diligent, and we do this on a daily basis trying to find her, and we're so like emotionally invested in it now. I just don't understand. Well, actually, I kind of do now that you explained it, Dusty. It's got to be what you're saying there, that they know something and they're just trying to protect themselves. They don't know what to do. And by the way, I really enjoyed your podcast, your 321 report about Sarah Noel's writings, you know, and one of the things that stuck out to me, like it did to you, was the part where she put something about like protecting yourself and protecting others.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
it's coming through. It's coming through, just like you said, man.
It is. And it's almost to the point where it's a cry for help, in my opinion. Like, it's like she wants to, that's her only avenue of getting all those feelings and all those emotions out, is through her writing. And she's a really good writer. I'm not going to, you know, try to pretend she isn't. She does a really good job, but she also, she gives us, in my opinion, she gives a lot of stuff that's going on in her life. It comes through her writing, like we were talking about. And there's nothing wrong with that, except for the fact, if you know something and you're not saying something, or if your husband knows something and he's not, that's an accessory after the fact. And that's really big deal. So there's got to be a reason that after all this stuff started coming up about Trevor with Tom Song's Twitter stuff, then our videos, and then a couple more videos from like Prime Crime and stuff like that, that all this stuff started disappearing concerning Trevor. All is like Instagram went dark, all this other stuff went dark, and it just, that's not a coincidence.
No, not at all.
No,
not at all.
And also, I'm gonna put this out there because it's really interesting to me. I don't know if you all watch a certain YouTube channel, very, very pro Barry channel. It was called The Masked Therapist. When all this stuff started coming out about Trevor and I started writing about Sarah, all of a sudden, all of her videos are gone. Somebody mentioned in the comments in one of my videos that maybe Sarah was the masked therapist. And that would totally make sense if that was the case. I'm not accusing her of being that person, but man, that was rough to watch. I've only watched a couple of segments of her thing, and she was going off on AK and those guys from Tube Crime, and I mean, just not in a nice way at all. Like running them up and down the river.
Yeah, because they were hitting a nerve, and yeah,
exactly.
And yeah, that's something that you and I talked about earlier too, Dusty. And I don't know enough about the masked therapist to know, but it makes sense if, you know, all this stuff started coming out, that not only did Trevor Noel's stuff start disappearing, his Instagram and all that other stuff, but also the masked therapist stuff started disappearing as well. So
there isn't any videos of her up anymore. She still has a channel. There's just no videos. And I love how you guys, the viewers, the subscribers, everybody lets us know about this stuff. The only reason I even did those videos on that video on Sarah was because somebody told me her blog was still up. Yeah. As soon as they told me that, I went and started reading her blogs, and I started getting all these ideas. And that stuff was, if I was looking at through the lens of Suzanne being missing, and I started getting my ideas of what I was going to talk about. So I started writing my scripts for the video, and that's all because somebody on here told me about her blog being up. So exactly. I love it when you guys tell us stuff. Don't stop doing it. If you don't hear from us, we're sorry. We're busy doing this stuff. Well, we do read that stuff.
Yeah, and keep it coming, guys. You guys have. I mean, half the stuff, or even 3/4 of the stuff, the information that we talk about on our shows come from you guys. It really does, doesn't it? Does.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this Mama Shan, do the right thing. So I want to look right into the camera, and I want to invite Trevor Noel to come onto our show. Or Trevor, if you don't want to come onto our show, which you probably don't, do the right thing. Just like Mama's saying here, if you know something about Suzanne, and there's something out there that you know about and that you're hiding, please come forward with that information and get it off your chest. I mean, I can imagine, Dusty, don't you think that it's like the weight of the world on his shoulders carrying this around if he knows something? I'm not saying he does. We're just trying to figure this out. We don't know. But if he knows something, I can imagine it's the weight of the world on his shoulders every single day. And it's time. It's time to do the right thing, just like Mama Shan-Shan's saying there. So,
well, I could tell him right now from experience that weight on his shoulders is bad, but try having the weight of being separated from your family, from your 2 beautiful young children, and because you have to go to jail, prison, whatever, or something worse could happen. So you might want to just think about what Tyson's saying, because I mean, it's never, I mean, I don't, like Tyson said, we don't know if he knows anything, but it looks like something changed around May 17th. So.
Let me tell you something too, man. It's no coincidence, just like you said earlier. So, he's watching our stuff. He's watching, us, probably some of the other creators, just trying to, stay abreast with what's being talked about, what's being said out there. But, he's probably watching this stuff. And so if he is, it's time, Trevor. It's time. I truly believe that, like you were saying in one of your videos, Dusty, the 321 report, that Trevor was very sincere in the beginning, and I could feel it, man. I honestly felt like something wasn't right. I couldn't figure out what it was, but something wasn't right. Like the interview that you played, the guy was saying he was having trouble hearing. They were having trouble hearing each other. The connection was bad or something like that. So maybe that was what was making it weird, but there was something weird, man. It was just like his demeanor, but at the same time, I felt the sincerity from him. I felt like he truly cared about Suzanne. He wanted to find her. He had the best of intentions, and then something changed.
I think one thing that sounded strange maybe was, I think he was trying too hard to be emotional. I mean, I have no doubt that he probably did care about her, but
yeah,
I don't think he cared about her as much as he was trying to play like he did. I think he was playing it up for the interview and for the GoFundMe page and stuff like that. Because if he truly did care about her that much, wouldn't he still be looking for her? Wouldn't he still be trying to find her?
Yeah.
I mean, so I think some of that stuff was fake. I feel the same way as you, though. When I read some of the stuff that he wrote or said to people and they wrote, I did feel like he did care about her. And then all of a sudden, I think he found out too much information, and then he was gone. So.
Yeah. And you're right. There's only one thing there's only one explanation for that. That's not normal.
No.
At all.
No.
So.
And somebody said, and these are just things that we get from viewers that I think are very interesting, but somebody said they think this might even be bigger than Barry. They think that maybe, yes, Barry did kill Suzanne. It was his fault. He did it. But they say the people that are around Barry aren't scared of Barry. They're scared of something else. Somebody with more power or something. I don't know what they're talking about, but I could see that. Like if he was, I'll tell you what, that new video that came out with Barry, the video with Suzanne and her friends that are blurred out, that was on Profiling Evil and it was on Plunder. Barry looked horrible, man. I mean, I don't know if he was on coke or meth, or he was on something, man, because he looked terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like somebody stretched skin over a skull or something and put some fake hair on the top.
Well, yeah, and then I noticed like the side of his head was shaved. Did you see that? Like there was a big old and then it looked like there was a bruise on his face.
Somebody said he might have got some plastic surgery or something, because it makes sense. They would shave his head to do some plastic surgery. They shave you wherever they're doing it, and then they have bruises that come up, and he looked terrible, man. Like, ugh. I mean, his hair looked like somebody posted the picture of him next to Michael Myers from Halloween, and the hair looked exactly the same. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, man, it's not going good. It's not going good for old Barry. He needs to give it up, and so does Trevor. it's time to start talking. We got too many of these, mean mama. We got too many red flags.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just adding to the list. Remember when Profiling Evil did that video and they were having all the red flags put up there? Well, we've got like twice as many as that now. They just keep getting added to every single day, So hopefully an arrest is imminent. I hope it's coming soon, but I see a lot of people commenting here, Dusty, that it could be possibly the cartel. I mean, at this point, guys, we're just open to anything, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. None of it.
No.
Where is Suzanne?
I could see where there would be some corruption in some of these companies that Barry deals with too, because they do shoddy work all the time, and it might be just some setup for some money laundering or something. I don't know. Who knows? But we better move on, man. I have to go in about 10 minutes. So.
Oh, you do? You're going to leave me? All right.
You,
so
you and Chappy can stay on here if you want, but I got a date with my wife, so I'm going to hit the bricks here in a few minutes. But
okay.
You want to mention, let's mention Mr. Moorman, Gene Moorman's passing.
Yeah. I read his obituary. Are you going to show that, by the way? Are you going to show?
But I can post a link in the description when we're finished to it. So
yeah, I was sick when I heard. Literally, I was sick in bed when I heard about his passing, and man, it honestly brought a tear to my eye. Dusty, I want to offer my condolences to Andy and the entire Moorman family. If you go read Gene's obituary, you can see that he was a very good man, lived a very full life. I won't spoil it for you, but go read his obituary. He was a businessman. They had a farm in Michigan where they farmed Christmas trees every year. He ran, of course, Gene's root beer stand. They bought that in 1962 and turned it into a thriving business right there in Anderson, Indiana. And by the way, Dusty, do you remember when we were there and we drove by?
Yeah.
Dusty and I,
packed, man.
That's what I was going to say. We couldn't even get into the parking lot. So where did we go? We went to a thrift store across the street. It was called the Scrounge Around, and we went and scrounged around at the thrift store. But man, I was really wanting to go over there to Gene's root beer stand because it was hopping. It was hopping.
Yeah, it was. It was popular. That's for sure.
Yeah, so, but
go ahead.
But I was just going to say that I kind of veered off on a tangent there, but I wanted to say that right there, what Treasure Cassidy has on the screen, that was my reaction as well. I was sad. We all knew it was coming, but man, we were sure hoping that we could find Suzanne before his passing. So rest in peace, Gene.
Well, they're having a reunion right now for sure, and they're loving life right now. They're both in a good spot. So, one other thing I wanted to mention real quick was, there's a new DA in Fremont County, I think is what it is up there. I think that's where Maysville is. It's right close to. It seems like all that stuff blends together. But anyway, she's going to be in charge of the Suzanne Morphy case now, and she has a prosecutorial, I think that's how you say it, experience, ex-police officer. So hopefully things are going to be moving in a good direction here when she gets put into the office. That'll be about mid-January. But we did hear some rumors about there's been some FBI sightings up in Salida recently, the past couple of days. And somebody actually sent me a picture or a video of a sign they put out that it's one of those mechanical digital signs, says it's Suzanne Morphy missing, and it keeps switching back, tip line. So that's out there. It wasn't there when I was there. So that's new.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just hope that they stay very vigilant, and I feel like this lady coming in, she's going to do a great job. I have a lot of faith in her. I read her little bio and stuff and the article that you sent me, and I think that she's going to be great. So
yeah, I do too. I'm excited about it because sometimes you have people in there that they kind of become lame ducks kind of people, you know, lame duck presidents, lame duck DAs or something, and they kind of just check out. So that might have been what was going on up there. Hopefully, that's not gonna be the case anymore after January. So.
I would like to thank Sonny Austin for the donation. Do we know yet if Barry took the Bobcat to Broomfield, since he said he went right away to the bike site, so he would have had it with him? You know, that's a great question, Dusty, because that is something that I have been trying to find out for about a month. I know Linda from It's a Crime, she asked me that if I knew, and I have not been able to find the answer to that. Do you know? Does anybody know?
No, but I know a good way we could find out if we could see the videotapes from the hotel there that he stayed at. Yeah, unless he went and dumped it off somewhere.
Yeah, but why would he? Why would he do that? It's like his security blanket. You know, he didn't want that thing to leave his sight. So
he didn't want it to leave his sight because there's evidence on it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know. He might want to have it with him all the time. So, and I've said this before. I think I said it on our last live. I truly believe that the Bobcat went to Broomfield, and that is a crucial piece of evidence. You know, whether it went there or not, because
it is.
You know. Let's see Tracy Lossy. Where'd she go?
She's right here. Oops, sorry, I clicked on it.
Oh, date money for Dusty. Hey, you better be going to Taco Bell, brother. But
we're not going anywhere. We're gonna hang out and watch the Andy Griffith show or something.
Oh, is that what you're gonna do?
Or build a fire in the backyard, maybe. So yeah, we got a fire pit out there. We like to sit up by. So.
Well, that's awesome. Tracy Lossy, thank you so much. I know she was here early and she was wanting to moderate for us. I don't know if she is.
Hey, Tracy, I'm sorry. I got you all set up. I forgot to hit save. You should be good now to moderate, though, for the last 5 minutes. So. But sorry, I just checked it when I was posting that link to Gene Moorman's obituary. It's in our description now, but I saw that I didn't hit save. Sorry about that. You'll be good next time.
Well, you know what? And you're just about out of time here, man. We're at 52.
I'm gonna have to wrap it up. Really, I made a promise I wouldn't go overtime this time. So yeah, but I want to take a moment to thank everyone. It was, I had to step out of my comfort zone, especially going live the first time by myself. I didn't hit the live button, and I went 17 minutes in practice live. And then I finally realized when I read somebody's comment, it said technical difficulty. And I was like, what are they talking about? I look up and it said go live on the button. And I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, I guess I better do that. But anyway, funny. It was interesting. But you guys have been great, encouraging me and telling me, giving me information, telling me I did a good job. Really, all I wanted to do is, this is what I told Tyson, I wanted to keep the boat afloat while he was sick and while he was out. So it didn't sink. So that's all I was trying to do. So
it didn't sink at all, man. In fact, dude, I got to step up my game now just to keep up with you and all this research you've been doing. Dusty, I can't tell you how proud I am of the videos that you put out and the research that you've done and the time that you've put into it. You know, seriously, bro, I got to hand it to you, man. Good job.
Well, thank you. It's worth it. No, all I could think about is whatever I can do to help in these cases. You know, you get ingrained. I mean, it's been 6 months since Suzanne went missing, and it's been about 5 since me and you have been working on this case together. And it's nothing to. I mean, you just get so ingrained into it, you don't want to stop. You want to keep plugging away. And
and I mean, you've got a brain for this too, man. The way your brain works and the whole world, you know, is seeing it now. You like your the way that you're able to analyze the information and you know the different things that are happening with Trevor and Sarah and all these other things. You know, you give us a different perspective that honestly I haven't seen anywhere else out there on YouTube. So it's pretty refreshing, bro.
Well, a lot of it, like I said, comes from the viewers and the subscribers, and I really appreciate you guys. Get me on this. What you do is you give me ideas, and I get on these little trails, and that's how I get to these places. So it's all you guys showing me the way, and you just point me in the direction, and I just take off running and start doing it. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. I'm glad Tyson's back though. We need to get him well so he can do the boots on the ground stuff again, because man, that's his bread and butter, and that's what got this channel being successful in the first place. So
well, that's what I enjoy the most, is being out there and talking to people and visiting these sites and giving our subscribers a bird's eye view of the area. I mean, we all hey, Chappy.
I'm bringing him in because I'm leaving. So
are you leaving?
I love you guys. I gotta go, man.
Love you, brother.
I'm not breaking my promise. So
you have a good time, brother.
All right. Hey,
love
thanks, Dusty. Love you, brother. Have a good night. Hey, Chappy, I totally lost my train of thought, man. Let's but that's okay, because let's talk about you, bro. How are you tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you're doing well. I tell you what, just like everybody, all the 17,000 people that been asking about you, I've been worried about you also, brother. So it's good to see you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Chappy. I'm good, man. I'm a fighter. This stuff, COVID is no joke. It's no joke. And I know there's some people that can just, get it and it doesn't really affect them. I don't know how. I'm not sure exactly how it works. But for me, it knocked me down to the canvas. But I'm glad to be back. I'm really looking forward to putting in the work and getting back in here and getting caught up on the case. Because, I mean, you miss a week or two and it's like you come back into it. Even though I was trying to stay abreast with everything, you come back and you're like, man, I didn't know about this and I didn't know about that. And so it's going to take me a minute to get caught up. But, dude, I tell you what, it's going to happen real soon.
Yeah. Oh, brother, you're awesome. You're doing great, and you'll continue to do great. And you're right. COVID is no joke. I've had members of my family. We've lost 2 members of my family to COVID, and so I mean, it's real, and it really affects some people. So I'm so grateful that you've been able to overcome.
Yeah, well, I just want everybody to know again, and we had a lot of people come in since the beginning. I want to thank everybody who sent me well wishes, who sent up prayers on my behalf, who sent text messages, emails, whatever, man. It was overwhelming. And I was telling you, Chappy, when we were in our meeting, that there's no way I can thank every single person. There was just too many, and I hate to offer a blanket statement, but that's the best I can do, guys. I just want you to know how much I love you and appreciate you and your concern. So, but Chappy, we've got a lot of people in here that are saying hi to you. You got a lot of fans out there.
I love these people. You guys are great. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry. I know some people might have done a shout out in the chat and I missed it. I apologize. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there's not a day goes by. In fact, there's hardly even a moment that goes by throughout the day that I don't think about Suzanne and how much we want to find her, and how much we want to bring, Gene of course is gone now, but that's okay. He's with Suzanne now.
Yes.
But to be able to bring closure for Mallory and Macy and also the Moorman family, that's one of my greatest desires right now. So
closure and justice, because we've got to, whoever's responsible for this has to be held accountable. It has to be done, and for Suzanne's sake, but also just for society in general, we have to bring this person to justice, and we have to find Suzanne. She's the key. She's the answer. She's where we're going to find closure.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us on a Friday night and giving us an hour of your time. You guys are great. We look forward to bringing you guys the 3-2-1 report with Dusty on, when is that, Tuesday nights, Chappy?
Wednesdays. He puts it out on Wednesday night.
On Wednesday. Okay. See, my brain is still trying to catch up, but okay. Wednesday nights, the 3-2-1 report. Friday nights, we're going to do our lives. And then I'm going to be putting my boots on the ground here real shortly. I don't know if I'm going to be in Salida or if I'm going to be covering a case here in Graham County, Arizona, or if we're going to start covering a little bit more of the Nick Cordova case as well. So, but I got options. I want to start putting my boots on the ground. So stay with us, everyone, and go along with us on this journey. So, I ran into a guy named Michael Weatherhead today in Home Depot, and I saw his comment earlier. He's from Graham County. He's from either Thatcher or Safford, Arizona. I wanted to give him a shout out. He ran into me today in Home Depot. He said his wife Julie is a big fan of ours, and it's just neat. It's neat to run into people that know us and the mission that we're trying to accomplish in these cases and help people. So it's cool, man. So anyway, that's all I have. Chap, you have anything else?
No, you guys did a great job. Thank you for bringing all this information to light. This is stuff that we haven't heard yet. So, I mean, it's big. It's a big deal. Good job, guys.
All right. Have a great night, everyone. Talk to you later.